So.
Okay, now we're going to do long division. One rule that we use when we are estimating, and we estimate when we have a double digit divided by longer digits here. Well, estimating is easier because it helps us with the bigger numbers. So one rule with estimating is when you estimate, only use 1 through 9. Using numbers higher than 9 does not work for estimating. So the highest number you can estimate with is 9. Okay? When you start out with like 37 goes into this big number, you can start out with 9. After you work it, if you get big numbers down here, then you need to go down to 8. Estimate starting with 8 times. 37 goes into this number 8 times, and so on. Repeat your steps. Okay, so let's work this first problem. We have 37. We're not going to divide it into this big number. We need to break it up into steps. So, we estimate with our 3. We know that 3 can go into 6, but we have 2 numbers. So we have to do 37 into 69, but we go off this 3. And we did that going with the 6. Now we do the 37 into a big number. Because we know we have 2 digits, we can't just do our 1. So what we do is we put our X above here because 2 numbers cannot go into 1. Okay, 37 into 69 goes in 1 time. So you do 1 times 7, and you always put your answer under where you put it on top. Now we do 1 times 3 is 37. Now we can subtract. That comes out 9 minus 7 is 2. 6 minus 3 is 3. Okay, now we ask ourselves, can 37 go into 32? No, it can't. But we have other numbers over here that we need to take care of. So we bring down one of our numbers. So we bring down our 5 to join our bigger number. Okay, now we can ask, how many times can the 37 go into 325? Now you're probably thinking, I can't do that in my head. That is too big. Okay, estimation rule. Now we're going to do 37, and let's start with our 9. 37 times 9. 7 times 9 is 63. 9 times 3, 27 plus 26, 27 plus 6 gives us 33. Now this is where I was talking about the big number down here, which that would give us a bigger number than 325. So we know 9 cannot work. So let's try 8. 37 times 8. Okay, 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 5 gives us 29. Now this number, 229, is definitely smaller than our 325, so we know 37 goes into 325 8 times. So we put our 8 up here. Okay, now we do our steps. 8 times 7. Sorry. 8 times 7 is 56. So we put our 6 down here. Now we don't put 57 here because that's going to throw our count off. We put our 5 above our 3. Now we do 8 times 3 is 24. Add our 5 gives us 29. Now we subtract. 5 minus 6. We can't do that. We have to borrow from our 2. So cross off our 2, make it a 1, and put a 1 to 5, make it a 15. Now we can subtract. 15 minus 6 is 9. We can't do 1 minus 9, so we have to borrow from our 3. Our 3 becomes a 2, and we put a 1 next to our other 1, gives us 11. So 11 minus 9 is 2. And then 2 minus 2 is 0, but I'm not going to put that because we don't want to confuse ourselves. Okay, so now we ask ourselves, can 37 go into 29? No, 37 is too big. So we got to bring down our last number. Now we need to figure out how many times can 37 go into 229. Well, let's look back at our numbers we've already estimated with. We estimated with 9. Can 9 go with this? No, 9 is too big. So we know 9's not going to work. Let's look at our 8. Can our 8 work? No. 8 is too big. So let's try a 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 4 gives us 25. Which that is definitely smaller than 291. So we can use 7. Okay? 7 times 7 is our 49. Now, we have to carry our 4. So what we can do, we're not putting him down here, we have got to carry him. We can erase this 5, make it a 4. Or some kids like to just cross him off and put a 4. Either way is fine. 7 times 3 is 21 plus your 4 is 25. Okay, now we subtract. 1 minus 9, can't do that, we gotta borrow. So borrow from the 9, make it an 8. Give the 1 a 1, so it's 11. Minus 9 is 2. 8 minus 5 is 32. Now, our number is smaller than 37, which is great. That's what we want. But, can 37 go into 32? No, because 37 is too big. We have no more numbers over here to bring down. So, this is going to be our remainder. So, we just write R 32. So, our answer for this is 187, remainder 32. Okay, let's do one more. This one is harder for students because it involves a 0. And this 0 always throws them off. Okay, so we have 62 divided by 43,462. Okay, so we have a 2-digit, so we know we're not going to use this first one. And because we have a longer number, we're not going to use the second one. So we're going to put X's. This is how we determine if we are going to use 1x or 2x's is by how long this one is. Okay, so we have our 2x's to cover for our 2-digit. We do this because we want our answer of how many times it can go into to be up here to allow our multiplication numbers to fall under here. So we do. 62 goes into 443 7 times. And again, you can always do your 62 times 9. Figure that out. See if it is 62 times 8. Figure that out again. And so on. So we do 7 times 2. Gives us our 14. And remember, we don't put our 1. We carry it. Okay. 7 times 6 is 42, plus our 1 is 43. Now we can look at this, now we subtract. Now we can look at it, we can see that it's clearly 0 all the way across. We're just only going to do 1 0. That's all we need. Okay, now we ask ourselves, how many times can 6 go into 0? It goes into 0 times. So let's go ahead and put them up here. This is where everyone gets confused, is the 0. They think that we're done, but we're not. We have 2 numbers we have to figure out still. So it's okay to put a 0 up here. Go ahead and use him. 0 minus 2 is 0. 0 minus 6 is 0. I'm not putting zeros down here because that's just a waste of space. We know that they're zeros. So let's go ahead and bring down our next number. A 6. Well, we know that 62 cannot go into 6. So that's not going to help us. So let's go ahead, bring down our other one. And we do this because we've already taken care of this 6. So we can go ahead and bring down 2 numbers now. So how many times can 62 go into 62? Some kids will say 0, but that's not correct. It goes in 1 time. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract, we get a 0. And we are done because there's no more numbers to figure out. So this is our answer. To solve the answer to this problem, is 701.